black people really need to, and people of color really need to get a hold of their own narrative, and particularly, excuse me, in a pop culture and easily digestible um, landscape. So when it comes to the world of media, but the kind that's pop culture, like I said, pop culture and easily digestible, the world where you just take in the information so easily because it's so pleasing, it's so attractive. Black people really need to take a hold of their own narratives, and I'm also talking about fiction and sitcoms and stuff like that. Because because so long as the Western world and white people have a hold of the narrative, they will continue to perpetuate this idea that the world is moving towards more progress, and there's reconciliation, and there's all that jazz of equalization, when it's not true. It's very important because it's just crazy the reality that black people live, and that black people and people of color amongst themselves as well, the reality that they know about how they view white people, and this thing of how they view white people. But we live in this world where there's this Stockholm syndrome, where there's a Stockholm syndrome, there's a cultural Stockholm syndrome that's happening, where people of color, but I'm really mostly speaking about black people, but sure, people of color, like, I'm not saying sure, like, whatever, I'm saying sure like that because I'm not anything other than black, so I can tell you exactly what it feels like for me being black and what I know as being black. I don't know exactly what someone who's Asian feels. I don't know exactly what someone who is, South American, well, Latina, even then it's like, yeah, I don't know, is that what you call them? Yeah, I don't even know, but yeah, I don't know exactly how they feel. But I know what I feel as a black person. I know what I know speaking, I know what I know being black and speaking to black people and, living in the world of blackness. That's very important because the world needs to be as aware of this reality as the whitewashed reality that kind of shows you sometimes what black people go through, but then it's still really from the perspective of white people looking at black people and still not actually considering the position of where all of this has come from, and never acknowledging where all of this has come from, and then dismissing in pop culture references and like fiction and stuff. And when I'm saying this, I'm really referring to television shows and so on, because I'm watching television shows, and that's what I'm really referring to, because these things are so easily digestible, and the way that blackness is spoken of, black culture, in all its diversity is referred to, and yeah, and then also people of color culture, non-Western culture, it's always from that perspective of, you're a little bit weird, try to get more like us the white way, you're cool, but not really, I'm gonna kind of like backhand. It's backhand, not even backhand compliments. It's actually, yeah, no, it is a whole lot of backhanded compliments. Yeah, with no acknowledgement of, yeah, of how black people and people of color are very aware that white people don't deserve anything they have.